What the girl actually said was, there's always a house, there's always a tree, there's always a creek, and there's always a driveway. And there's always a door, and a rock just before the door. And there's a bridge across the creek to the garage. Anyway, it's a long description, but basically it describes my house, pretty much. And there's always a road. Anyway, somebody or some girl knew where I was going to live, or knew that I lived at 471 Mountain Drive. By the way, interesting little tidbit. The original address for the White House was 477 Mountain Drive. But it wasn't really a mountain. It was more like a hill. So they changed the address, especially when I changed my location to where I was, which is 471 I can't spell. Mountain Drive, because of the fact that I invented cars and the axle and the train and aircraft flight. I named America. And from this location. And that's why 471 Mountain Drive, and a house with a driveway and a road and a creek and a door, a big door that opens up on each side. It's supposed to have 2 doors that would open up. And a big window over the top. And 2 doors would open in wide. And then there would be a small staircase with a shrine or something like that. Anyway, yeah, basically a big hallway. Anyway, but pretty much it describes my house. 471 Mountain Drive, Lusifer Star. Yee! Yeah, I was in hiding. Namer of America, namer of Russia, owner of Lavatavia. Lavatavia. Taviar? What? I love Tafia. Anyway, Lavatavia. No matter what you call it. Basically, I had different inventing shocks, like Auschwitz and other places like that, and all kinds of stuff. But I am the legendary Lusifer Star. Anyway, yeah, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to die soon. Doesn't really matter. But yeah, I named America from 471 Mountain Drive, and that's why it's important. And all kinds of other stuff. So, yeah. And lots of stuff happened. Lots of weird, strange, time-changing effects, all that stuff. And it doesn't really matter. And basically JFK and Nixon were like, trying to kill me because, well, technically the White House and the Washington, D.C. building, which is white and made of pressed concrete, gold pressed concrete. No, actually it's white pressed concrete with a little bit of ash. Like I said, you would find out that the Washington, D.C. building, if you did radiological and mineral sampling tests on the Washington, D.C. building, you would find out that that white concrete is very unique and very old. A lot older than it should be, in fact. About 200 to 400 years. So anyway, it's a lot older than you think it is. And that's the amazing thing. It's actually made with ash and other stuff. Other people would say, it's made from potash. It's like, yeah. I think it's made from potash. And it's actually vacuum sealed pressed concrete with very little rebar. That's why a lot of people would say, well, it was actually made during the Depression, obviously, and that's why they didn't use steel. Actually, and it might actually have titanium or something inside of it, something that doesn't rust. It's very, very, very unique, and it was actually made by Germany. And anyway, so it was not actually made by during the Depression. It might have a titanium shell inside of there. It was made very expensively, and it was made for me because it was made and built to last. See, like I say, the problem with steel is that it rusts, and rust over time or any kind like that would explode the concrete. So, how do you have it strong and yet last forever? Why? You use titanium. Titanium rebar, titanium shells, titanium inside. And then it will last forever. So anyway, if you got the cash and you got the titanium, well, what do? You build a building that'll last forever. So anyway, yeah, and that's why it's Lucifer White Star's house. Just like Lucifer White Star's Fort Knox. Well, I don't know who named it Fort Knox. Anyway, and that's why the Statue of Liberty has a star base at the bottom of it to say star. Anyway, this is all stuff that JFK and all kinds of other people would love to have covered it up. But they couldn't really cover up the fact that all the stars, star of what's called, star of Russia, star of what's called. They tried to put on this whole thing saying Jewish people were stars, so blah blah blah. And it's like, no, actually, that's actually Lucifer Star. That goes with the White Star Company, mining and shipping. Oh yeah, and of course, stars, which is not currently up. But if we go outside, we have 6 minutes on the clock. We have 6 minutes on the clock. Anyway, I am, of course. I wonder if we can even see them tonight. Probably not. Probably can't see any stars. No. Nope, you can't see them. But on a night sky, in a night sky, look up into the sky, and what do you see? Well, what are they? They're stars. Sorry, I said that kind of weird. Anyway, though, stars, Lucifer stars. Actually, what you're actually looking at is actually galaxies. Those actually are not stars. When, like I said, upon closer examination, they found that what they thought was just the one star was actually a grouping of stars. Yes, I don't just create stars and suns. I create groupings of stars, whole galaxies. About 800 of those are actually mine, including this one. This one, the Milky Way, is an example. Just like the one that's coming at us. One of them is named, this one I think might have been originally named MC9-4 something or other. Originally, the Milky Way was actually referred to as another galaxy. It was actually referred to as, I believe, MC9-4 something or M something, Mizzy or Min, I forget what it was called. It was M something or other. And of course, there's the one coming at us. And I think we just switched the name around because I wanted to change this one to Milky Way because, I don't know, MC something or other. It doesn't really sound very good. So, and besides, we had milk chocolate here and all kinds of other stuff. And so I was like, Milky Way! Anyway, whatever. Anyway, I don't know. I was a child at the time. So, and I'm Lucifer Star. So anyway, so we changed the name to Milky Way because I wanted it to be Milky Way. Anyway, whatever. But anyway, yes, 471 Mountain Drive, Lucifer Star. So anyway, and that's where I named America, and I came up with flight and all kinds of other stuff. A house that has possibly been around, the house has possibly been around 400 years. And technically was there before Rodney even built it. So anyway, the house was a little bit different of a house. Anyway, like I say, no matter what, the house would have been built, or I would have been in the White House. So, whatever, it doesn't really matter. And I actually wanted a square house with a courtyard. And we actually built a square house with a courtyard in Mexico. I still build a lot of houses. I built a house with a courtyard in Mexico. So, anyway, whatever. But that's where Flight and America and a lot of other things were named. Right there. In the end, that house will be worth a lot of money. Because that's where America was named. Yep. America, they thought, was named in the White House. But nope. It was actually named in my house. 471 Mountain Drive. Well, technically, Nixon or JFK was actually trying to take over the world. So, whatever. Anyway, which they actually didn't do. Not really. They sure did. They sure tried. And technically, I was going into hiding. But it doesn't really matter. It's still my house. And they couldn't really kill us. Or get rid of me.